Okay, good day. My name is Mike Alexander. Along with my colleagues, we are here to provide you with a presentation on forecasting the future of the ground transportation industry. In this presentation, we're going to give you a brief background and history of the industry. Then we're going to look at planning impacts over the next quarter century. Specifically, we're going to look at social and cultural changes, environmental impacts, economic changes, political and legal changes, technology changes, and some of the educational impacts. We will finish it up with providing a future forecast that will give you the best and worst case scenarios and our recommendation for future planning. As far as the history goes, the freight transportation market encompasses all aspects of our economy. Virtually every industry relies heavily on being able to ship out their goods and to receive in supplies. The freight industry started with our waterways and pack animals to move the material from point A to point B. The first major innovation was the railway. Initially, it was limited to the transcontinental until the private railways came into existence. These private railway companies were able to expand the coverage greatly. Air freight was a late bloomer in the 20th century and involved moving only lighter weight items at a greater value. Trucks definitely dominate the industry as a whole, constituting about 71% of the tonnage and about 80% of the value of the materials moved. The latter part of the 20th century saw a huge increase in motor carriers, going from 216,000 in 1990 to over 500,000 in the year 2000. Many factors created this increase, such as economic deregulation, globalization, and a shift to a service-oriented society, which created demands for smaller shipments. These smaller shipments had a huge impact on the trucking industry, and it will continue to do so. It is predicted that the vehicle's mile travel will increase over 3% annually all the way to the year 2020. This positive impact has created negative. One, it's created a large congestion in our transportation system. Additionally, it has caused capacity constraints at key gateways. Combine this with the rising fuel costs and the increase the cost of the transportation industry is going to affect all of us. In the 21st century, the freight system moved about 14 billion tonnage, valued at over $11 trillion. Of this, 6% was transported by water, about 1 billion tons valued at $138 billion. Rail was second to trucks with 16%, transporting the materials over longer distances. They accounted for about 2 billion tons, about $600 billion. The primary mode is still trucks, with about 78% of the tonnage and about 88% of the value, which constitutes about 11 billion tons and $9.5 trillion. Air is much smaller, but still has a significant amount of the value, because it does transport the lighter weight materials, yet are usually more higher value items. At this time, I'm going to turn it over to my colleague, Leland Horn, who will take us through the impacts that we expect on the industry.